on two guys,
Yeah.
Bobby Brown and Robert Rochelle.
Yeah, so with Rochelle, it was kind of a freak little accident. He was going in to punch the ball. He's going to have wrist surgery on Monday. Same thing, Bobby Brown, he got his UCL in his thumb. He'll have a quick little fix. He'll be able to come back with Robert. We'll see what that looks like after the surgery. Once they get in there, we'll have a better idea of exactly what his timetable for return, talking about Rochelle. Bobby, expect him to be back within the week of surgery, just based on being able to cast it, and then we'll see kind of how he progresses accordingly. Yep.
Sean, what have you seen through the last several days from Matthew Stafford?
I've just seen good, steady play. What I really like, too, is there was a great play by Ramsey in the defense today, and then what I'm as interested in as anything is seeing the response. And he's just so steady. He's unaffected by it, comes back, made a lot of really good plays, but he's got that veteran feel, and it's practice too. He's trying things. I like the fact that he's using these opportunities as learning ops and really kind of challenging, testing some things out, getting familiar, playing with the skill guys that he's going to be playing with, Lindsey. And so been very pleased with him. Long way to go, but I love working with Matthew.
And then was anticipated today being pads. What was behind the scenes?
It was a little mix-up that I made. That was my fault. I kind of misunderstood some things. Fortunately, we got it cleaned up before probably I got fined. So we'll be able to put the pads on. We'll have tomorrow off, and the following day we'll be in helmets again, and we'll put the pads on whenever that is. So we'll have one more practice without the pads, and then we'll put the pads on. But tomorrow will be a day off for the guys.
Sean, what's your impression of the pass rushers after Leonard?
I've been really pleased with that group. Eric Henderson and Thad Bogardus, Chris Shula, they've done a great job. Marcus Dixon as well. Really pleased with the way the coaches have poured into them. I'm going to be really interested to see once we can put the pads on. So much of when you can really evaluate those guys up front, you start to get some one-on-one D-line, O-line pass rush in some competitive situations. You can really see how they're able to fit and use those things accordingly. But up to this point, I've been pleased with that group. I think Sebastian Joseph Day is a guy that's really shown he can be an all-purpose player. We all know what Aaron's capable of. I think Justin Hollins is a guy that used all the things that he did really well last year, and he's really continued to build and grow, and excited about him. And Obo's a guy that has a lot of ability as well.
It seemed like that red zone early on got extremely competitive,
yeah,
and raised the bar. What did you like out of
I
that?
felt the same way. I think the goal is being able to push one another. And when you get into those competitive situations, Kurt, that's exactly what we want to be able to see. I thought there was really some good plays by both sides. It is really fun to have the fans out here, too. You realize what a great atmosphere and environment that creates to what one of the many things that makes football so special. I think our players thrive off that, and it's kind of right in that end zone where there's a lot of fans. So guys had fun, and there was a lot of good plays and a lot of good things that we can teach off of.
I'm actually wondering if you could break that period down in a little bit more detail, just
Yeah.
because after Jalen's pick, which was excellent, Matthew just seemed to sort of start firing all these. He had a sidearm down the barrel, and then he also had a no-look barrel. And I'm wondering if you could maybe break that down in a little more detail.
I think you just broke it down pretty good right there, Jordan. Yeah, that was good. You broke it down. We're really we're mixing the downs in there. It was kind of a predetermined scripted period. We got some first downs, some second downs, and then a handful of third downs, kind of goal to go, 4-point play type of situations. And Jalen makes a play that ends up going the other way. That's definitely a touchdown for the defense. And then you pretty much just explained all the plays pretty well. He ends up. I love the way that he was able to move in the pocket. I think until you go back and you watch the film, what I've been really pleased with too is just the practice etiquette. Our defensive line understand if they come free, let's level past the quarterback. So sometimes you can get some clarity on, all right, would that have been a real play? But I like the way he was able to move and manipulate the pocket, exhaust progressions, found Cooper. You mentioned it where he found Darryl, and so those are things that are exciting. And that's one of the things that I think's been a staple of what he's done at such a high level throughout the course of his career.
I'm not going to use your specific words, but I think at one point you described that as rare expletive.
Oh yeah.
Is that kind of along the lines of what you're talking about?
You said it. That's exactly right. It was special stuff. And again, I thought there was a lot of special things from a lot of our players, and that's what you want to see, these guys pushing one another, and I love that.
And then Robert Woods sort of getting the last word, and he mentioned it's great because the defense, he feels, will come back with a little chip on its shoulder. To see that competitiveness so early, is that a marker for you?
It is. That's exactly what we want to see, Jordan. And I think it's finding that balance of pushing one another, making each other better, and never letting it get past that. And our guys do a great job of balancing that out. I love the feel of this team. I love the way that the coaches have kind of help establish, set the tone, really, and the players have really been the ones that have set the tone. And so I think our leadership, that veteran leadership, it's easy to just say, hey, let me watch the way these guys are doing it, and then the younger cats kind of follow in line, and that's what the first 4 days have been reflective of.
Sean, a couple more guys, Cooper and Robert, are going into their 5th year together.
Yeah.
How have you seen that partnership, if that's the right word, develop over the years?
It's been special, Kevin. Two of the most conscientious players I've been around, particularly from the receiver room. These are guys that they don't want to just know what's going on from their position. They want to know what the other 10 guys are doing, what's the responsibility that they're trying to, that the defense is trying to get done. They want to know the intent of things. And I think they push each other. I think they have great skill sets. Both of them are great football players, but they're a little bit different. I think they're able to kind of play off of one another. I think they're able to pour into one another and say, all right, these are some of the things Robert does really well. These are some of the things Cooper does really well. Kind of share in their craft, if you will. And they set the tone, and I think Eric Yarber's been outstanding. We got a crazy fan over there right there. I don't know what he's saying right now.
For a player.
Let's go.
But obviously, you talked about them setting the tone.
Yeah.
Every year or two, a new junior partner comes into the room on this year. And how do they help to sort of make that?
I think it's been a big thing. I think what you're really seeing too is, Deshaun is a great player. He's really established himself. It's a very distracting guy yelling right now. But Van Jefferson has really asserted himself as well. I think when he comes in as a rookie, he's able to see the way Cooper and Robert approach the craft. And I think he's doing an excellent job. I really look at, 3 of the most conscientious receivers I've ever been around are Robert, Cooper, and when Brandon Cooks was with us. That was such a special group. Then Brandon ends up moving on, doing his thing in Houston. Josh Reynolds really did a great job, and now you're starting to see Van really assert himself. I think he's really coming into his own. I think he's got an incredibly bright future, and Deshaun is a very established player, and we really look at it as we've got 4 starters, and it's a good problem to figure out how to kind of make sure that we're keeping them fresh, but also getting them involved and getting them their touches.